also look towards this direction in this.
Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane officially launches an online portal for grade 1s and grade 8s to apply for the 2026 academic year. He's here with us here in Ga-Rankuwa and is about to brief the media. Over to you, MEC.
Thank you. Good morning. The launch has been successful. The system went live at 8 o'clock as planned. There were no really any anticipated glitches. I know there are some parents who logged in earlier and then they expected the system to just automatically change, so they had to reboot. So upon rebooting, then the system came back live again. And at that time, we're sitting with around quite a number of them. Now, as we speak, the applications that have gone through successfully, we're sitting just above 10,000. We're expecting it to be much higher later on in the day because as parents go back and able to reboot and start up. So we know that by the end of the day, we'll be sitting at a very high number. But so far, so good. No problems. We've not gotten anything. Any feedback, any challenges with the system from the public. So we're happy with how the system has started today.
Let me see Ofentse Setimo from SABC. How are you going to control the influx of learners from other provinces coming to Gauteng? And also there's been some concerns of the other principal actually prioritizing foreign learners at the expense of our local learners. How do you mitigate that?
Look, the system, of course, is open. It's open for our children across in Gauteng, and of course we do get parents from other provinces who are also in the system, because you can apply anywhere in the world with the system. So we'll look into that, but obviously remember the home address, previous school, because some schools are feeder schools to a high school or an ECD to a primary school. So we also look at that aspect as well. As for foreign nationals, like I said, how we do it, they must comply. We need people who are in the country legitimately with correct papers, and there's no prioritization. If there's such a school, bring it to my attention. But as far as I know, the system looks at that first. It looks at obviously South African children, and then it looks at other children from foreign national countries. But more importantly, they need to be legal in the country for them to even get any opportunity for space.
MEC Mongezi from EWN. My question has to tie in with the dates. I understand that on the 29th of August is the closing, and on the 12th we're expected to start handing out the notices, the placement notices. So maybe just outline the deadlines and the dates that we have.
Oh, the deadline on the 29th of August is midnight, 0000. That's when the system shuts down. So from the 16th of October, that's when parents are going to start getting messages of placement offers. And what I've said earlier, that we have a 98% success placement rate. So automatically, parents are going to start getting placement offers from that date up until we place the last one. And when I mean the last child, I mean the last child who has completed application. If parents today, for instance, they've come in, they've registered the learner, it's not a complete application until you submit your documentation, until the system gives you an SMS that says, yes, you have completed your application, it's captured. Their child receives priority for placement. Those with incomplete application, we see them later on, but they are not priority. The priority ones are those ones that would have complied fully with the requirements of the system. And lastly, one thing I've missed, parents must avoid internet cafes. They're going to charge them. We've got walk-in centers for free. We've got schools for free. You know, they just go, any school, public school, just go there. Every school has got a desk that is set up to administer and assist parents to apply. So we've got all these systems ready to support our parents during this difficult application process.
Was there a challenge of placement until some time last year? How are you addressing those high pressure regions where there's always a challenge?
No, we prepare long in advance because now we know what to expect. We know where the problem is. We know where there's a high pressure. What do we need to do to prepare for it? So we've put up measures to ensure that we create enough space, classroom space. If not classroom space is full, also create contingency in the sense of transportation, access to immediate schools or nearby schools. So we've got all those plans in place. So parents can be rest assured that as and when we're dealing with the placement matter, we've already considered the space allocation in classes. We've already considered if we're going to run out of space in this particular area, transport, we prepared scholar transport in some areas to take those children into the nearby schools. So we've covered that aspect.
What informed your decision not to extend the application process beyond the end of August?
No, of course, we need to prepare our schools as well. Because remember now, if you extend it, they will have little time to prepare for LTSM, learner teacher support materials, school furniture, all those things. So for us to prepare teacher provisioning, we need time. So that's why we kept close it on the 29th of August, so that even when we place the child, we've already prepared even the necessary tools for the child to come into class, the educator in front of them, the classroom space. So that needs time for planning. The system helps us to do that.
From the SABC, we know there's a problem with infrastructure in capacity, and currently there are parents outside who are protesting over infrastructure issues. There's a local school here that is currently built on a wetland, and they've been going back and forth with the department. The children have not been to school since the reopening because the school has apparently been declared unsafe by engineers. You are aware that anything from you?
Yeah, firstly, we really need to advise parents to stop this thing of closing schools. Tomorrow they'll come back and say my child is not correct, is not misbehaving, my child, and forgetting that the ones who are showing their children that school is not important can just stop it. But fortunately with the Bella, it empowers us to be able to actually act on those parents that close schools, meaning they will get arrested. It's illegal to close a school. So we want to see some of them. I think as soon as, if we can get some of them to be arrested to sleep behind cells, they will understand. You don't close a school. There's always processes to engage and deal with the matter. We're not saying there are no problems in some of our schools. There are problems, but let's sit down, let's deal with them. Let's agree on timelines. Let's look at what other options do we have in dealing with the issues. That's what we always say. This is what the department does. But if you say you want to close it, you say because you are demonstrating, you are closing down a school, you are stopping kids from going to school. What happens to those kids during the day? Some of these children, they really rely on, especially in this area. I know it's a no-fee paying school. We provide nutrition at their school. So the child goes then, gets breakfast, gets lunch. So when you stop those children from even accessing the basic meal, what are you doing? So it's quite irresponsible. I don't like that. But those issues have been raised with, I am aware. So we're looking into ensuring that we get their schools right. If infrastructure, it is a problem. Some of our schools are old, so the maintenance of it is quite expensive, but we have to fix it, and we're continually fixing it. We've just passed a budget of around 3.9 billion, focusing on infrastructure work. So there's a lot of investment that we're doing in infrastructure for our schools in the province. I'll speak to the strikers.
Are we done? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much.
Just a little bit of Sesotho how to use
Okay. Process, the application process is a milestone. Rebuzika 8 o'clock as planned. Come corner plan. And
all right, so we've been listening to the Education ABC, Matume Chilwane, really outlining the process around the online applications for grade 1s and 8 for the 2026 academic year. It's usually a signal that the year before is pretty much reaching the home stretch. And I suppose in many ways we've come to anticipate part of this process kicking off as part of the Gauteng Education Department's own processes, so to speak. Ofentse Setimo, part of our team there, live to us from Ga-Rankuwa, where the MEC was to essentially guide parents who, I suppose, wanted to dodge some of the technical gremlins that have bogged the system over the past couple of years by being helped by some of the department officials at that particular center. Good morning to you, by the way. It's great to see you. I'm Ayanda Nyati. Welcome to the Thursday edition of The Agenda. Started with a bit of a difference this time around, but it's an important story worth telling for you as it unfolds each year.